In Dungeons & Dragons 5th edition, the Leonin are described as large humanoids who are basically furries. The Leonin are bipedal lions who tower over regular humans and travel in large groups upon the plains of Oreskos, where they have lived for over a millennia. In the Theros setting, the Leonin suffered at the brutal hands of Archons for generations, and therefore, once freed, decided to spurn most other Therosian races in favor for their own kind, forging strong bonds with one another and with the land that provides for them. While they acknowledge the existence of Therosian gods, many refuse to worship the gods who seemingly left them to their fate as servants and slaves. They're an insular race and most are simple hunters, gatherers, or defenders, but those Leonin who hunt down the servants of the gods who dare to enter their homeland are known as the Iconoclasts. The Leonin Iconoclast has an AC of 17 and 67 HP with a speed of 40 feet. They have amazing stats across the board as well as a +7 and 6 to Dex and Wisdom saves. They have training in several skills that make them excellent hunters, as well as the evasion trait in which if they are subjected to a Dex save, they take no damage instead of half damage on a success. This coupled with their high Dex and Wisdom saves makes them formidable against magic users. They're innate spellcasters who can cast Banishment and detect evil and good once per day, and they have the unarmored defense trait which grants them their high AC. In combat, they make 3 attacks with claws or darts. The claw deals 6 to 16 slashing and 2 to 12 force damage for a total of 8 to 28, and the darts deal 5 to 8 damage each. As a DM, I would use the Leonin Iconoclasts as part of a story taking place in the plains of Oreskos, having them challenge the players in combat when the players first enter the area. In defeating them, the players might be deemed worthy of meeting with the rest of the group, or they might be marked for death depending on the story that I'm trying to tell. I would have the Iconoclasts fighting as a hunting party and would position some in the back to deal range damage with their darts, and the rest of them up front to act as tanks and melee damage dealers. The ranged Iconoclast should be using all 3 of their dart attacks per turn to deal damage out across the ranged players, while the melee should be blocking melee players from reaching the other Leonin or aiding their fellows. I would have at least one Leonin cast Banishment right at the beginning to send tanks and healers away, to put the party at a severe disadvantage right at the start. As Leonin and melee drop, I would have the others come in to supplement them, adding their claws to the fray, and should the melee players drop down, I'd have the Leonin charge the ranged players, surround them, and then claw them to death. In Greek mythology, there are 2 myths that I believe influenced the creation of the Leonin. The first is the Leon, a lion-headed giant that featured in the war between the giants and the gods who was slain by the demigod hero Heracles, who then fashioned a cloak out of his skin. This, however, is a variant on the more popular tale that acts as the second inspiration myth. This myth is about the Nemean lion, a gigantic lion with golden fur said to be impervious to all attacks. No mortal weapons could pierce its hide, and its claws and fangs were strong enough to punch through the toughest of armor. The Nemean lion features in the 12 labors of Heracles as his first labor. Realizing that he could not kill the beast with weapons, Heracles followed it to its cave lair and blocked the entrance so it couldn't escape. He then beat it over the head with his club, knocking it out. As it woke, he wrestled it to the ground and strangled it with his bare hands, circumventing its impervious hide. He then tried to skin it for some reason, breaking his knife in half. Luckily, the goddess Athena recognized him as a good-natured himbo, and told him to use the creature's own claws to skin its hide. Heracles returned to the king who had tasked him with this impossible quest, and presented the dead lion as well as his new cloak, which was impervious to the elements and all but the most powerful of magical weapons. In comparing the Leonin to the lion-centric myths of ancient Greece, we find the most similarity to the less popular or well-known tale of Leon the Giant. Both Leon and the Leonin are creatures spurned or ignored by the gods, who then waged a war against the gods' servants or the gods themselves. While not giants, the Leonin are massive lion-headed humanoids who detest the servants of Theros' pantheon, and they make for an interesting group in D&D. If you enjoyed that video, please leave a like and comment below, and consider subscribing to the channel. You can also join the Patreon for $1 a month to access videos days before they're posted here, as well as other exclusive stuff like short stories, videos, and more.